New details about the timeline of two teenagers shot by a Chicago Park District lifeguard. Our Charday Gray tells us the man charged with murder will remain in custody for now.
The assistant state's attorney asked for 55-year-old Charles Leto to remain behind bars because he was quick to pull out a gun and shoot two teenagers, killing 15-year-old Marjay Dotson. The judge says Leto had a lack of judgment and certainly overreacted. Community activist Reverend Robin Hood led the families of 15-year-old Marjay Dotson and 14-year-old Jeremy Herod in prayer outside the Layton Criminal Courthouse. This comes after the judge ordered 55-year-old Charles Leto to remain in custody.
It just don't make sense to have guns at a pool where children are.
Leto is charged with murder, attempted murder, and 2 weapon charges. The assistant state's attorney says Leto was employed as a lifeguard at Douglas Park. Prosecutors say on Thursday the pool closed at 7 p.m. and someone moved his bike. It's unclear who moved it. Prosecutors say he got into an argument with a 15-year-old boy. Leto retrieved his bike, flipped it over, and started looking through his backpack. That's when Herod, Dotson, and the other 15-year-old started walking to him. Prosecutors say Leto pulled out his gun and shot Dotson in the back, then turned and shot at Herod and the other boy. Dotson died at the hospital. Herod was shot in the neck and is in critical condition. Herod is the cousin of Laquan McDonald, who was killed in a police shooting in 2014.
This is as devastating as you can imagine to the family to lose or have one family wounded that could suffer forever behind this, and to lose a child just several years ago.
The other 15-year-old was not shot. The public defender says Leto is a highly decorated Marine Corps veteran with a clean background. They say he shot the teens in self-defense because he was being attacked and harassed, but stayed at the scene and called 911. The judge says surveillance video doesn't support self-defense. He went on to say, as a highly trained Marine, he should have known not to bring a gun to the park.
If you're in that big of a fear where you feel like you need a gun, you don't need to be working around children. You don't need to be working around the pool.
Leto will remain in custody. His next court hearing is July 1st.
We not even gonna play like that for no grade. Y'all see them killers in here? Hey, stop playing with my sweaties. Hey, I know how y'all coming, shorty. What's that word, man? It's about 100 glickers in this bitch.
So, guys, I know you've been waiting for this story that happened in Chicago. It's a very, very crazy incident. There's a lot of stories that's happening on both sides of social media. You know, you got the conservative social media, you got the liberal social media. But, guys, I didn't want to really rush to do this video. I had to, analyze and see what happened and stuff like that. And I've came to my conclusions, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just break the story down. Former lifeguard, former Marine, Charles Leto. They're trying to charge him with murder and attempt murder. The attempt murder one might be, it might be valid. And they're also trying to get him on 2 other weapons charges. Now, Marjay Dotson, the 15-year-old, that's the one that's pronounced dead. That's the one with the dreadlocks, ladies and gentlemen, the one in the blue shirt. Now, in the video, I know it's a little blurry to see. It's a little choppy, but there has been a little bit of proof that he was kind of reaching for his, I don't know what he was reaching for, but the story is this, guys. He felt threatened because I believe they were in an argument about the pool or whatever, and he went back to his bike, and I believe he pulled out his firearm after he put his bike upside down, ladies and gentlemen. So he clearly felt threatened. Then they followed him back to his bike, which is absolutely stupid. If your parents were smart, they would have definitely taught those kids to not follow people, especially strangers, because that's what happened. You could get shot, but not trying to, make this a parent and one-on-one video. But after that, Charles Leto decided to take deadly force. Now, this Jeremy Herod, he, I believe, is relatives with Laquan McDonald, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you look down his family tree, or if you look down Laquan McDonald's incident, yeah, that dude was absolutely insane. Waving a knife around is not okay. So I don't know if it's something. Now, but look, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I have to be honest here. When it comes to the first one, the 15-year-old, he was close. Okay, that one might be justifiable when it comes to Marjay Dotson, the one with the green shirt, basically. He was fairly close. And then he was the one that actually was looking like he was going to pull out something and potentially, shoot Charles. But the 14-year-old, Jeremy Herod, I believe he's the one that got shot in the neck. This might be a hot take, man, but I don't think he was supposed to shoot that guy. I don't think he was supposed to shoot the other one. I'm being honest, guys. I think that one was a bad shot. That one was a bad shot for sure. But he's in critical condition. Thank God, he isn't pronounced dead. So, maybe God is trying to give you a sign, that you shouldn't be hanging out with these children that want to harass people who literally just got off work, or I don't know if he had to leave work early because he felt threatened. But clearly they followed this man, ladies and gentlemen. And I put that last video in there when it came to the YNs with the guns is because I want to let you guys know that this is actually happening. These 14, 15, 16, even 13-year-old kids, they have guns now. I'm talking guns. We talking like they got more guns than rednecks at this point. These kids are strapped, okay? And when it comes to Brandon Johnson, terrible leadership. I hate to make this political. I swear to Christ I do. Not trying to make this political at all. But when you got stuff like teen takeover, and when you got all of these teens and, early adults like 18, 19, 20 out here murdering each other like it's a sport. Yeah, that makes people scared. Like civilians who fought for our country. He has a clean record, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. This man was clearly in fear of his life. Look, I don't know if you guys saw the thumbnail, but he's on the ground, like with the gun. So clearly he feels threatened. Okay, I'm just being honest. But when it comes down to Jeremy Herod, whatever you say his name, but when it comes down to the 14-year-old one that got shot in the neck, I don't think that was right. And you look, I want to hear the comments, but that kid was nowhere near him. Now, but that's what I'm saying. You never know if these kids have guns or not or anything like that. I know Charles was probably just taking safety precautions, and then he's going to result to his training because he's a highly trained Marine. Highly trained means you're going to always resort back to your training no matter what you do. I got that same, I know, dude, so I understand, okay? You result back to training. That's all I'm going to say. But last thing I want to say when it comes down to this story, ladies and gentlemen, is that I have been telling Brandon Johnson that he needs to, because he's the mayor. He's been the mayor for a minute now. And, the people have been trying to tell him that these young black males are out here doing a lot of crime. Okay, they're out here robbing people. They're out here shooting people. They're out here taking out of stores. They're out here just vandalizing stuff, doing all type of crazy things. And Brandon Johnson don't want to take accountability for making the city more safe. So things like this won't happen. So the citizens won't have to resort to protecting themselves. This is what happens, when you want to do police reform. This is what happens when you want to defund the police. This is what happens. And look, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not with him like fully 100%, but I'm definitely with him 60%, guys. The shooting isn't fully justifiable, but that's only because the Jeremy kid, the 14-year-old, he was like nowhere near him. I have to admit it. But this other kid, this Marjay Dotson, the one with the dreadlocks, the 15-year-old, he definitely deserves to get shot, bro. Like, you ain't supposed to be nowhere near that close to this man. You don't even know this guy. And I'm sorry to say, you know, I hate that, you know, this kid had to lose his life, you know, but it's just, this is what I'm saying. The parents have to start telling these kids to just leave people alone. You could potentially get killed. It don't have to be woo-wop from the block. It don't have to be Lil Spaz or whatever the hell these people names is on the block now. That I don't know and I don't care. It don't have to be these gangbangers out here that will shoot you in the face and kill you. It could be a regular old Charles Leto, just a regular lifeguard that's just on his way to work, trying to do his job. And listen, people think all these badasses and stuff is what's going to get you shot. But the real people who will truly shoot you, like without even thinking about it, is someone who is in fear. Those are regular civilians, especially older people. I think this dude is 55. This dude is knocking on 60. You think he finna fight y'all? Man, please. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Tune in next time. And I'm out of here, guys. Peace.